నారాయణం నమస్కృత్యం నరం చైవ నరోత్తమం దేవీం సరస్వతీం వ్యాసం నష్టప్రాయేషు అభద్రేషు నిత్యం భాగవత సేవయా భగవతి ఉత్తమా శ్లోకే భక్తిర్భవతి నైష్టికీ. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text number 7. Vasudeve Bhagavati Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yogaha Prayojitaha Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Janayatyashu vairagyam Jnanam cha yad ahaitukam Jnanam cha yad ahaitukam Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam cha yadahaitukam Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam cha yadahaitukam. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam cha yadahaitukam. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam cha yadahaitukam. Synonyms: Vasudeve, unto Krishna; Bhagavati, unto the personality of Godhead; Bhakti Yogaha, contact of devotional service; Prayojitaha, being applied; Janayati, does produce; Ashu, very soon; Vairagyam, detachment; Jnanam, knowledge; Cha, and; Yat, that which; Ahaitukam, causeless. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: by rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Please repeat. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Purport: those who consider devotional service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna to be something like material emotional affairs may argue that in the revealed scriptures, sacrifice, charity, austerity, knowledge, mystic powers, and similar other processes of transcendental realizations are recommended. According to them, bhakti or the devotional service of the Lord is meant for those who cannot perform the high-grade activities. Generally, it is said that the bhakti cult is meant for the Shudras, Vaishyas and the less intelligent women class. But that is not the actual fact. The bhakti cult is the topmost of all transcendental activities, and therefore it is simultaneously sublime and easy. It is sublime for the pure devotees who are serious about getting in contact with the Supreme Lord, and it is easy for the neophytes who are just on the threshold of the house of bhakti. To achieve contact of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna is a great science, and is open for all living beings, including the Shudras, Vaishyas, and women, and even those those lower than the low-born Shudras. So what to speak of high-class men like the qualified Brahmanas and the great self-realized kings? The other high-grade activities designated as sacrifice, charity, austerity, etc. are all corollary factors following the pure and scientific bhakti cult. The principles of knowledge and detachment are two important factors on the path of transcendental realization. The whole spiritual process leads to the perfect knowledge of everything material and spiritual. And result of such perfect knowledge are that one becomes detached from the material affection and becomes attached to spiritual activities. Becoming detached from the material things does not mean becoming inert altogether. As men with a poor fund of knowledge think. Naishkarma means not undertaking activities that will produce good or bad effects. Negation does not mean negation of the positive. Negation of the non-essential does not mean negation of the essential. Similarly, detached from material forms does not mean nullifying the positive form. The bhakti cult is meant for realization of the positive form. When the positive form is realized, the negative forms are automatically eliminated. Therefore, with the development of bhakti cult, with the application of positive service to the positive form, one naturally becomes detached from inferior things and he becomes attached to superior things. Similarly, the bhakti cult, being the supermost occupation of the living being, leads him out of material sense enjoyment. That is the sign of a pure devotee. He is not a fool, nor is he engaged in inferior energies, nor does he have material values. This is not possible by wise reasoning. It actually happens by the grace of the Almighty. In conclusion, one who is pure devotee has all other good qualities, namely knowledge, detachment, etc. But one who has only knowledge or detachment is not necessarily well acquainted with the principles of bhakti cult. Bhakti is the supermost occupation of the human being. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langaitem girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So we are continuing to read about the response of Suta Goswami to the first question asked by the sages of Naimisharanya, headed by Shaunaka Rishi. In the previous chapter, they had asked a few questions, 6 in number. So the first question was, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way, what have you ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general? What is the ultimate good, or what is the best thing for the people in general? So they had asked this, and Suta Goswami started answering those questions. So he has started answering from the previous verse, which we read last week. So the supreme occupation dharma for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. So what is the supermost activity for human being? The supermost activity is devotional service to the Lord. And how devotional service should be performed? Ahaituki apratihata. It should be costless. That means we should not have any cause, or we should not have any motives behind performing devotional service. Motives means personal motive. And apratihata, it should be apratihata means there should be no cessation. That means we should not stop. Not we perform devotional service for some time and stop it, or for a few days and they again stop it. No, it has to be apratihata, or continuous or unbroken. Then what will happen? Yayatma suprasidati. Then our heart or our soul will get satisfied, completely satisfy the self. Now, this is in the previous verse, it is talking about how we should perform devotional. What we should perform, what we should do, we should perform devotional service. How we should perform, it should be costless and it should be continuous or unbroken. So then it will satisfy the self. Then the question comes, actually we live in the world which is known as phenomenal world. This one expression Prabhupada gives, phenomenal world. It's not like regular understanding of phenomenal, not something phenomenal, not like that. Phenomenal means there is a cause and there is an effect. There is action, there is reaction, right? So the whole world, if you take whole world, every person, every activity, we can see this. There is a cause, there is an effect. There is a action, there is a reaction, right? So, and here, for example, if you have to give, like how this fan is working, if you have to know, then because of electricity. Now, what is the cause? Electricity is the cause. Now, for electricity, what is the cause? Then there is a electric powerhouse is the cause, from where the electricity is being supplied to the individual houses. So, electric powerhouse, how does it get electricity? So, it gets either through wind energy or water energy. So, they convert wind energy or water energy or atomic energy into electric energy, and then that electric energy is supplied. Then what is the cause of water energy or wind energy? Then there is a energy which is there, which is like water energy. When water falls from dam, so when it is falling, there is some energy. So because of that, that falling action gives energy to the water. It's not that just you keep some water in a tank or a bucket and then from that electricity comes out. No. Water has to be surcharged or utilized in certain way, then only electricity will come. Electric energy will come, right? So like this, and even if we take our own life also, everything is cause and energy, cause and effect. Like how we have come about because of our parents, how they have come about or because of their parents. So like this, everything there is a cause. So it is natural. And similarly, if we see somebody very beautiful, so naturally we'll say that his parents or her parents must also be beautiful, right? Why? Because cause is there. Or if we see somebody intelligent or knowledgeable, that means we know that in their childhood or sometime in their life, they would have studied or read some books and gained the knowledge either from books or from some teachers or somebody. So they would have heard or learnt or read. Therefore, somebody is an intelligent person, isn't it? So there is a cause for everything. So similarly, Vedas, come to Vedas. Vedas also in the beginning they teach cause and effect. You are in the human form of body because of your karma. That is the cause. Therefore, you are in human body. Now, you have option. What you can do. You want, now the Vedas will describe, there are 14 planetary systems and the enjoyments and sufferings which are available in different planetary systems and also different species of life. Now, if you want to go to heaven, you want that effect in your life, then there is a cause. You have to lead a pious life. Then you can go to heaven. You want to drink somarasa. Somarasa is a kind of a beverage or drink available in the heavenly planet, which is drunk and Indra and all others get intoxicated. But yet it is not in tamoguna or rajoguna. It is in satoguna. Okay. So So if you want the beverage to be drunk, like Somarasa, then you have to perform this yagna, this sacrifice. Then you want to go to Brahmaloka, then you have to sacrifice this. You want to become Indra, then you have to perform 100 Ashwamedha yagnas. If you perform 100 Ashwamedha yagna, then you are eligible to become Indra and sit on the throne of a king of heaven. Okay, so like this, everything there is a cause and effect. Therefore, this word is called phenomenal word, right? Now, when in Bhakti cult or in Bhakti Yoga, a new concept is introduced to us that is called nominal. That is no cause. Beginning with Krishna. Krishna is Sarva Karana Karanam, right? So he is the cause of all causes. But what is the cause of Krishna? There is no cause. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Anadi means there is no cause. There is nothing beyond Krishna. Okay, so this is the new concept for us. It's not easy for normal people to understand. Therefore, when we say by performing bhakti, everything will be Krishna bhakti kaile sarva karma krutahaya. If you perform devotional service unto the lotus feet of Krishna, everything is taken care. So it's very difficult for anybody, at least in the beginning, to understand how is it possible. What we are doing, chanting Krishna's name, and then we are offering some flowers or some dresses to Krishna deity, and we have kept one deity in our house or temple. We just go and offer obeisances, and then we sing some songs or chant some mantras, and prepare food, which anyway we prepare every day in our house. So we prepare some food and offer to the deity, and that's our life. And then it is said, by doing this, all the knowledge will come about, all detachment will come about, and world peace will come by doing this Sankirtana Yagna. We are doing Yagna, okay, Sankirtana Yagna we are doing in Vrindavan or one temple or in our house. How the world peace will come about? Nobody is hearing also Hare Krishna mantra. At least we can say, if we have some loudspeaker and then everybody is hearing and chanting, peace will come about in their life is understood. And we say that we perform Sankirtana Yagna in some part of the world, or in our house, without any speaker, and just we are chanting and our family members only we are hearing. And we say that world peace will come about by this. How is it? So, therefore it is called causeless. Ahaituki. So that ahaituki, how is it? So therefore, those who follow other processes like jnana, karma, and then yoga, they say this who consider devotional service to the Lord something like material, emotional affairs. And actually, bhakti also, if you see, it's not even the activities of bhakti also. It does not look like some seriously we are doing something. We are just dancing. We are just reading, chanting same mantra, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and then our philosophy is very simple, right? So it looks like emotional activities, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas, he was known as Nimai Pandit. He was very scholarly person. Nimai Pandit, he took sannyas. And then before even taking sannyas, suddenly he, from reading scriptures and teaching scriptures, Nyaya, Vyakarana, all these things, he gave up these things. And then he chanted Hare Krishna mantra. Okay, that's also good. Chanting mantras are explained in the Vedas. So you can chant, nothing wrong in that. But he is chanting only the Hare Krishna mantra, nothing else. Okay, some people follow only one process. Okay, so whole day probably he's doing. Maybe he wants to get some siddhi. And then it is seen that he has started developing detachment from everything else. And then slowly it is seen that he started crying, chanting and crying. Some tears are flowing from his eyes. And then slowly it is seen after some time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's whole day is crying, that's all. And what about the scriptures? He has given up the scriptures. He has stopped reading any Vedas or anything. It is and he has taken sannyas from a sampradaya who are known for studying Vedanta very seriously. They take sannyas, they study Vedanta very seriously, and then they don't get involved in all the sentimental activities like crying, dancing, all these things. So one sannyasi, Prakashananda Saraswati, he asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why are you acting like a sentimentalist? You have taken sannyasa in a glorious sampradaya, our sampradaya, and you are a sannyasi also. You cry like Batulera Praya, like madmen. You people who you gather around some people who are also like you, not studied anything, simply they are chanting and dancing and crying. What is this? How will you get liberation? Just by chanting, how will you get liberation? It's not possible. Because Vedas explain that we have to understand we are not this body. Then only we'll come out of bodily concept, right? Unless we understand that I am not this body, I am spirit, soul, I am Atma. So how will we come out of this bodily attachment? It's not possible. And you are not doing, so one has to study, understand this, I am not earth, I am not water, I am not mind, I am not intelligence, I am not false ego, I am not the identity, I am not this body, and nothing belongs to me. This world is false. We have to understand these things. If we don't understand these things, how will we come out of this? Okay, you are doing chanting and all fine, but you are not studying the Vedas. How will you come out of bodily concept and how will you get liberation? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, actually, my guru saw that I am a fool. Guru more murka dekhi korila shasana. So my guru saw that I am a fool. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not fool. He is representing all of us. So, tumhara nahi shastrera adhikar. You don't have adhikara to read shastra. You can't understand. You are a fool. Like we also, at least all of us would have had this experience. Even Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, when we read for first time, its natural conclusion all of us make is, I could not understand anything. Right? Generally, when we read first time Bhagavad Gita, I don't know what is the concept of Bhagavad Gita. Something and all going on. I understood here and there something because it was little in English or Hindi, so I could understand. But actually, I did not understand. So we are manda. So, tumhara nahi shastrera adhikar. Krishna nama japa sada. So, better you chant Hare Krishna mantra. Yehi dharmasar, sarva dharmasar. So, the essence of all scripture is chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So, who is telling this? The Guru of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Krishnera Nam Laya Samsara Mochana. So, the attachment to the material world, beginning from with our body, will go away by chanting this Hare Krishna mantra. And Sankirtana Paye Krishnera Charana. So, by chanting Krishna's name, we will achieve Krishna. Actually, achieving Krishna, so samsara mochana, everything will happen. So, telling all these things, my Guru taught me one mantra. What is that mantra? And he told, you take this mantra and then write it in paper or something, put it around your neck. Or it should be always in your throat. In other words, you should be always remembering, chanting and remembering this mantra. What is that? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyatha. So, this is the mantra. So, therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is chanting always Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, this is really a authorized process. And among the authorized process, this is the highest process or the best process. Okay, and here it is said, actually, okay, now this charity, sacrifice, austerity, all these things cannot be performed by everyone. It's not easy, right? Like austerities, like sacrifice. So general sacrifice include sacrificing of the various ingredients in the fire, so that those ingredients are offering to the Lord. So this is the sacrifice. But in Kali Yuga, there is no pure Brahmanas who can chant the mantras. Then there are pure ingredients are also not available. And then very rare to get pure cow ghee, right? So it's not possible. So not possible to perform sacrifice or charity. So everybody is poverty stricken in Kali Yuga, right? So it's very difficult to perform charity and austerities. We are all so lazy. If we are asked, we'll switch off these fans and AC and sit and hear Bhagavatam class, probably we may not come. Or we will sit near the window, right? So we cannot perform simple austerities also. And knowledge, yes, knowledge. If we have to learn knowledge, we have to study the scriptures. And who has the time? We don't have time even to maintain. We are shortage of time just to maintain our body and our family, right? So difficult. And then how we will have time? Our mystic processes, for which we have to leave house and live in a secluded place or jungle and then perform mystic yoga. It's not possible for us. But bhakti yoga is sublime and easy. Sublime. Sublime, there is a very nice word in English actually. So sublime means, I'm just reading that dictionary explanation. Extraordinarily or transcendentally impressive. Sublime implies an exaltation or elevation almost beyond human comprehension. So this bhakti cult or bhakti process is outstanding, spiritual, and tending to inspire awe, usually because of elevated quality. So, or transcendental excellence. So among the transcendent, the excellence means highest excellence, which is beyond human comprehension. What we can see, touch or smell, it's beyond that. The same thing is explained in Bhagavad Gita also. Sukam atyantikam yattat buddhigrahyam atindriyam. So this happiness of bhakti, which is derived from bhakti yoga, is atindriyam. It is beyond the expression or beyond the perception of the senses. So bhakti is so elevated. And then it is sublime for those who are serious about getting in contact with Supreme Lord. And it is easy for the neophytes who are just on the threshold of the house of bhakti. So it's easy also. It's simultaneously easy and at the same time it is sublime. That means it is better than our transcendental and transcendental excellence. Among transcendental activities like karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, ashtanga yoga, bhakti yoga is transcendental and excellence is topmost. Okay. So to achieve the contact of Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna is a great science. Actually, how does it happen? It is because by bhakti yoga, we are not trying to come out of the bodily concept. We are not trying to give up what we have. Or we are not trying to perform any austerity, which, okay, we are planning some austerity and performing some austerity. Or we are not trying to understand anything. We are not actually not doing any of these things. Then what are we doing? We are just trying to touch Krishna. How do we touch Krishna? Krishna is available in various forms in Kali Yuga, especially Kali Kale Nama Rupa Krishna Avatar. So this Hare Krishna mantra is called Avatara of Krishna. Means Krishna has descended. So therefore it is said that whenever we chant Hare Krishna mantra, Radha Krishna are dancing on our tongue in the sound form. So dancing on our tongue in the sound form. It's not that Radha Krishna personally coming and dancing on our tongue. In the sound form. There is a sound form, there is a archa form. Right? Understand this. Just like we have this Panchabhuta form. Right? Like Atma also has one spiritual form. Similarly, there is a sound form. There is a archa form or stone form. Means form of Krishna in the stone. By stone or through stone, Krishna is appearing. That is called archa form. Right? It's Krishna appearing in archa or stone or metal form. So that is called archa vigraha. So Krishna appearing in archa form. Similarly, Krishna appearing in sound form. That is Hare Krishna mantra. Okay. Just like let's say take any name. Take name like John. John is when we say John or a person, he has one form, right? As soon as we say John, we remember that person. Similarly, when that person is not seen, but we just chant his name, or when we just utter his name, John. So immediately we remember, oh, there is a person like John, right? So just this sound form, every object, every person is identified with a sound form also. Through sound, how do we identify? We have given a form for everything, like table. As soon as I say table, we have understanding of there is a form of table, right? Table is a form, which actual form, and there is a sound form of that table. That is called sound form. Table, or chair, or a mic, or anything. So similarly, persons also. Krishna, Rama, Balaram, whatever. So as soon as we say Balaram, we know that it is referring to different personality. It's not referring to Krishna. Or when we say Radha, so it is not referring to Krishna, it is referring to Radharani. Or when we say Gauranga form, right? So I am able to give you impression of different personalities just by uttering their names or just by chanting their names. I say Krishna, you immediately remember. And if I say Krishna and tell some Leela about Gauranga or Balaram, then immediately you will tell, Prabhu, no. What you are telling that pastime is not Krishna's, that is Balaram's pastime. Right? How you are able to understand? Because there is a sound form. So that sound form, Krishna appears. Like John, it is a material name. In that name, identification is there, but the personality is not there. Right? If you remember your friends or parents or somebody's name or chant also, they are not present here. They are present wherever they are. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna is absolute. Absolute means he is omnipotent, omnipresent. He is present everywhere. So if we chant Hare Krishna mantra, that means it's not that Krishna's Shakti is present. Krishna himself is present in sound form. So when Krishna is present, all his Shaktis are also present. So that's how it is. So, so in sound form, we try to touch Krishna. And in archa form, we try to touch Krishna. Touch means touch him by doing some service. Like sound form, how we touch Krishna? By chanting his name. Archa form, how do we touch Krishna? By making dress for him, making garlands for him, making cooking foodstuffs for him and offering it to Krishna, and then circumambulating the deity, dancing in front of the deity. There are various ways by which are accepting Charanamrita, which has washed the lotus feet of the deity. So in this way, Charanamrita is what? Actually, the water or the other Panchamrita substances which wash the Lord, the transcendental body of the Lord, and that we are taking. That means we are directly touching the Lord. Prasadam is what? Prasadam is the food which we cook and offer, and Lord has accepted it. How He has accepted it? By His glance. So that means Lord has touched, then only it becomes prasadam. Otherwise it is bhoga only. So that prasadam, when we take that prasadam, that means we are touching the Lord. So similarly, sound, then if you are reading Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, the description about the Lord or description of are the words spoken by the Lord Himself. So these are directly the words of Lord, and if we are reading, trying to understand, that means we are directly touching the Lord. So in this way, we are touching the Lord in various ways. And this is a great science, and one has to understand. Right? And then it is open for all human beings, including the Shudras, Vaishyas, women, and even those lower than the low-born Shudras. So this is another important thing. This yoga, if you have to perform Ashtanga yoga, we have to go to forest. Not possible for everyone. Whereas Bhakti yoga, all of us can perform easily, and then there is no bar. Generally, there are some processes in which it is said that women cannot get liberation in this life. So as women, you perform devotional service or all the bhakti yoga processes. Then in next life you get to a man's body. Then in man's body also again you continue. Then is it possible? No. Suppose you are a man's body and you get a Shudra body. Again you will not go. Okay. So in Shudra life also again you perform yoga, study the scriptures. Then from Shudra, then from Shudra life, even though you are a man, you cannot get liberation. Then you have to take birth as a Vaishya. So in Vaishya life also you cannot get. Then you have to become Kshatriya. Then you have to become Brahmana. So like this, then when you become Brahmana, and then in Brahmana also, if your study of the Vedas is complete or perfect, that means you have clearly understood that you are not this body, you are spirit soul. You have nothing to do with this material world. Then you come to the stage of self-realization. Then you can get liberated. Whereas Krishna is giving the confidential knowledge in Bhagavad Gita. What is he saying? Mam hi partha vyapashritya episyu papayonayaha striyo vaishyas tata shudras tepi anti param gatim. O son of Partha, Pritha, those who take shelter of me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas or Shudras, can approach the supreme destination, Param Gatim. So basically in Kali Yuga, who are there? Women and men who are like Shudras. Kalau Shudra Sambhavaha, right? Janmana Jayate Shudra. So only Shudras and women are there. So men who are Shudras and women. So they also can approach the supreme destination by taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is Ahaituki. Now comes the important question. Okay, understood, we have to perform devotional service, but we are just by chanting, how the knowledge will come? And then how the detachment will come? It's very important. Once, many years back, we went to for darshan to a temple in Tamil Nadu, Parthasarathi temple. It's Parthasarathi temple or some temple, I don't remember. So we were standing in the queue, and some other people, general common people, they were all standing. So some of them were talking. See, they worship Krishna. Krishna has thousands of wives. We were all in saffron and we were brahmacharis. And these don't get married to even one. So they were astonished that we worship a Lord who has married 16,108 wives, and we are not getting married to even one. that means our understanding of the Lord probably may not be proper. Right? Because your Lord is doing and you are not doing that. And this kind of understandings are there. And there are same question even Parikshit asked to Shukdev Goswami. How is it that those who worship Krishna or Vishnu, they worship of Vishnu, if you see, it is full of opulence, full nice garlands, fresh new dresses, dresses also opulent, big tilak and to the Lord, and then offering also like elaborate offering like a king we offer, right? It's offering of the Lord itself is called Rajbhog, the food which is offered to the king. Means on that level we are offering to the Lord. And we very elaborately we worship. And then if you see the devotees of Vishnu, they are like Brahmanas, they are living very, very simple life. Practically it looks like poverty-stricken life, right? And then whereas Shiva's devotees, Shiva is, how he looks like? He is very simple, some ashes. What is the decoration of Shiva? Some ashes on his body and very simple life, some snakes around his neck, and he sits in crematorium. And then his devotees, they are very opulent, right? So like Ravana, if you see, they are all very opulent people. And then Krishna's devotees, if you see, they are very simple lifestyle, most of them. Maybe the exceptions are there like Yudhishthir Maharaj and even the kings also, they may have opulence, but they will live like rishis. They are emperor, but they live like rishis. Rajarshi, they are called Rajarshi. Rishis. Rishis means, again, Brahmanas, a very simple life. Not attached to anything. So how is it? And then the same question, Yudhishthira also asked to Krishna, why, my dear Lord, that your devotees live a poverty life and you live a life of opulence, and then whereas Shiva lives a life of simplicity, and then his devotees live a life of opulence. Then Krishna says, Yasyami anugrinami harishye taddanam shanai. As soon as if I especially am merciful to anyone, first thing I do is what? I take away all his opulence and I make him poverty stricken. Why? So that all his relatives will go away. Right? If you are not opulent, let's say you have some function in your house like marriage or something you have, and then there is no opulence there. And then everybody who comes as a guest, you are giving them some khichdi or sometimes that's also not possible. You are giving some water or something. So nobody will come to you next time. They will all tell, never go to that person. So poverty stricken. Why is he calling us? Right? So our own family members also may go away. So that is the mercy of the Lord. So detachment comes about. So how this detachment actually comes about? Actually, we have to understand that if we touch Krishna, what happens? So Krishna is explaining that in Bhagavad Gita, that first of all he is explaining, this is called Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita. Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita. The essence or the most important 4 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita are this. Okay, this is there in 10th chapter. So in first shloka, 8th shloka, he is explaining what is that? I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. So Bhakti Yoga begins with understanding who is Krishna. So first Krishna is explaining about himself. What is that? Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am Lord of everything. Everything includes material and spiritual. Material word, spiritual word, everything. Matta sarvam pravartate. And everything has emanated from me. That means it does not mean like I am the Lord, but actually created by somebody else, and that person is no more. So I have become Lord. No, everything emanates from me, and I am the Lord of everything. And then itimatva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Anybody who understanding this worships me, he is worship me with his Buddha. He is intelligent, he is learned, and then he is bhava samanvitaha, with great attention. See, as soon as we really understand Krishna, naturally we get attracted to Krishna, right? So, with all their hearts, they worship me. So, then their minds will be captivated by my qualities. Machitta, Madgata Prana. So, their thoughts, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. They don't think about anything else. Because Krishna includes everything, everything means Krishna. If Krishna is not there, there is no separate existence, including myself. My body, how it has come about? By Panchabhuta. And what is the source of Panchabhuta? Material nature. What is the source of material nature? Krishna. Then there is a soul in this body, right? So because of soul, this body is working. From where this soul has come about? Krishna is telling, Mama Ivamsho Jiva Loke. So that soul is my Amsha. There is nothing actually which can exist without Krishna. So as soon as we understand, then we will not think about anything else. We will naturally think about Krishna. Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam. And then those devotees who are pure, they would like to discuss only about Krishna when they meet others also. Especially when they meet other pure devotees who are in same line, they take great pleasure in discussing about Krishna. Kataintascha mam nityam tushyanti. Tushyanti means they become very pleased, and ramanticha. In this way, they are actually enjoying transcendental bliss. It's not that devotees who are like Brahmanas, which I was telling about, that they are not poverty stricken. It is not. There is a difference between being poverty stricken and then being voluntarily living a simple life. For example, Chanakya Pandit. So Chanakya Pandit, he's a Brahmana. So we all know because of some insult. So he said, I will train a person in such a way that you have insulted me being the kings. You are Kshatriya, you are not supposed to insult a Brahmana. And because you are insulting me, that means you don't have respect for the Brahmana class. So I will ruin, or I will take away all your kingdom. You are thinking that I am dependent on you. No. You are. I will show that the power of Brahminic, what is Brahminical power. It's not that we are in poverty and we need some money or some help from you. So you are thinking like that. You are thinking that you are God. I will do something. I will train a person in such a way with my Brahminical knowledge that he will take over your kingdom. And then Chanakya Pandit sees one boy, Chandragupta Maurya, and then he trains him to be a king. Brahmana is training how to be a Kshatriya, then he trains him. And then this boy, when he grows up, he takes away all the kingdom. And then he starts a Maurya empire, right? So this is the power. Then after some years, then Chanakya Pandit becomes the prime minister. The Chandragupta Maurya is the king, and then Chanakya Pandit is the prime minister. And then Chanakya Pandit is not taking any salary. He's not taking any salary. Then Chandragupta Maurya, who is the king, who wants to give something to his guru, because he is guru also, prime minister also, we should give, because you cannot take free service from anyone. Then he tells, take this money. Then Chanakya Pandit says, no, I am Brahmana, I don't need money, I don't require anything, I have a hut, I am living in a hut, and that's sufficient. I have, and I am getting my food 3 times, 2 times, I am sufficient, that's sufficient, I don't need money, I don't need any opulence, you keep, you are a king, you need all this thing, you keep. Then Chandragupta Maurya says, if you don't take, I will punish you, or you must take salary. Then Chanakya Pandit says, okay, I am resigning. You want to give me salary? I am resigning. You manage your kingdom. You see? So voluntarily they are in that state. It's not that they are, okay, I am poverty stricken because Krishna is not giving me money, so I am poor. Not like that. It is said Brahmanas, they, for next meal, actually they depend on the Lord. That means sometimes people give charity to the Brahmanas, right? So if you give 1 lakh rupees thinking that, okay, here is a Brahmana, he is poor, let me help him, okay, give him 1 lakh rupees, so that for at least for few days or few months, few years, he will be, he can take care of himself, and then he can study the Shastras. So if you give 1 lakh rupees to the Brahmana, and next day if you go to his house, again he will have nothing. Why? Because in 1 lakh rupees, whatever is required for one meal, he will take, he will offer it to the Lord, and whatever 99,000, whatever is there, he will distribute in charity. This is actually Brahmana. It's not poverty stricken. So therefore, Tushyanticha Ramanticha, they become very much pleased in talking about me. They are enlightening one about me. So transcendental bliss, they are getting, unless somebody is happy in certain things, how can he be, how can they be in simple, lead a simple life? Okay. Now here comes important thing. If somebody is living this kind of lifestyle, what will happen to him? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogamtam yena mam upayantite. So, to those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. Actually, Gnana. Gnana is not, we are not dependent on any books or any persons, nothing. You are performing devotional service, and Lord is saying that I will give them the understanding, I will give them the Gnana, that realization that I am not this body. This realization, ultimately, even if you read in the book, ultimately it has to be realized also. Like all of us know, like I am not this body. And Prabhupada also knows, I am not this body. But the activities of a pure devotee and our activities, if you compare, it's different. Or it is not on that same level. Why? Because we are attached to body, some attachment, not completely detached. Whereas the pure devotees, they are completely detached. So knowledge is same, but the realization is different. Who is giving this realization? This realization, Krishna is saying, I am the one who gives. Then how Krishna is giving? Tesham evanu kampartam aham agnanajam tamaha nashayam atma bhavasto gnana deepena bhasvata. This agnana, this ignorance. Ignorance is also called darkness, right? Out of compassion for them, I dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So there is a darkness. Therefore we are not able to see the reality, right? So that darkness can be removed not by introducing more and more darkness, or by knowledge that darkness has to be removed. That darkness will not go away. Like let's say in the night, there is no electricity, there is no lights, we are not switched on. And if we sit and think, if we switch off the light, there will be the brightness. We are thinking like that, contemplating. Will it happen? The darkness will go away? It will not go away. We have to go and switch on the light. We are somebody else. So similarly, Krishna is saying, Gnana Deepa, this torch light of knowledge, I will shine in the heart of my devotee. Therefore, they get the knowledge. Okay. So this is how the knowledge can be received. And then when we have right knowledge, naturally we'll get detached from that which is not right. Right? This is what Krishna is saying. Naishkarmya means understanding the activities that will produce good. Negation does not mean negation of the positive. Negation of the non-essential does not mean negation of the essential. Similarly, detachment from the material forms does not mean nullifying the positive form. Because we are directly in touch with the Lord, which is the, what is Lord's form? Satchidananda Vigraha. So, Sat means eternal, and then Chit means knowledge, and Ananda means bliss or happiness. So, when we are in touch with the Lord, then naturally we are not in ignorance. So, once we are not in ignorance, that means we are in knowledge. And a person in knowledge will not be attached that which is temporary. Because if I know I am soul, why will I get attached to my body? Not possible, right? So, naturally, when we are in knowledge, we will lose attachment. or we get detached easily. Whereas if somebody performs austerities or any kind of detachment, knowledge, if they follow those process, they may not get bhakti, that is one thing, and they may not even get success in their own field also. Like studying the Vedas. It is said, no, like Prakashananda Saraswati also is telling to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you should study the Vedas to get the knowledge. And actually Vedas tell ulta. What is that? If you don't have bhakti, you will not get knowledge also. What it is said? Yasya deve para bhaktir yata deve tata gurau tasyaita katita hiyartam prakashante mahatmanaha. So if somebody may be studying Vedas, but if he does not have bhakti, bhakti to whom? Yasya deve para bhaktir. When bhakti is not sentimental, as it is told here in the beginning, there is some sentimental bhakti also, like bhav mein aa jayenge. हम वृंदावन जाके बहुत भक्ति करेंगे. क्या है वो भक्ति करेंगे? कीर्तन होता रहेगा, हम सब कुछ भूल के नाचेंगे. फिर 5 मिनट के बाद चलो दही वड़ा कहाँ पे, यहाँ पे खाने को क्या मिलता है, वृंदावन में बढ़िया चाय कहाँ मिलता है. That is sentimental bhakti. That's not we are talking about. Actually that is true. We are not talking about that kind of silly bhakti. We are actually talking about real bhakti. So even if we study the scriptures, unless you have devotion towards whom? Yasya deve para bhaktir. Transcendental devotion towards Deva. Deva is actually Krishna. And then Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tata gurau. Similar devotion to spiritual master. Tasyaita katitahi artam. Then only you can understand the meanings. Prakashante mahatmanaha. Just by reading you cannot understand. There is one is understanding what is written. Like the scholars, they read. Okay, Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, this is the subject matter. This is explained. Arjuna is crying because of these things. And then second chapter, Krishna has started, he has explained. So if you understand these things, okay, you will come out of illusion. Then you can fight. So this is very surfacial understanding or bookish knowledge. But what transformation Arjuna went through, if we have to go through that, if same transformation, if we are expecting, just reading will not be sufficient. Bhakti should be added. That means Gnana plus Bhakti. Therefore, it's called Gnana Yoga. If Bhakti is not added with Gnana, then Gnana also will not be successful. So this is the seriousness, or this is the importance of bhakti. It's not that okay, those who cannot perform high grade activities like knowledge, austerity, charity, for them some simple process is given. Papa, women and Shudras, they don't know anything. Papa, okay, you do some bhakti, imagine one farm and do something. No, it's not like that. It is very high grade activity. And then without bhakti, all other activities cannot have success. But one who has only knowledge or detachment is not necessarily well acquainted with the principles of the bhakti cult. Bhakti is the supermost occupation of the human being. Okay. So and this knowledge and detachment is the gift, or we will not perform anything to specially gain knowledge or specially gain detachment. Just by performing bhakti, these two are actually, this is not the again effect. Okay, so Prabhu, you told there is no it is causeless, then it is effect, right? Perform bhakti, you will get knowledge and detachment. No, it's not like that. Actually, by performing bhakti, we will get knowledge and detachment. Actually, there are corollary effects. That means it is side effect. It is side effect. Like if you are engineer, okay, you studied engineering, and then you can perform some activities which is related to engineering, right? By and by, you know little mathematics also. right? Because engineering involves some mathematics. By and by, you know how to read also. If somebody says, take engineering course, study 4 years, so that you will know basic mathematics and English. No. Engineering course is taken for something else. Our medical course is taken for something else. By and by, we know reading also. By and by, we know some mathematics also. That does not mean, see, if you become a doctor, you can read newspaper. This is there any meaning in that? There is no meaning. If you want to read newspaper, basic English knowledge is sufficient. So this knowledge and detachment, it is basic actually. So it is actually first effects or first side effects of chanting. Actually, Shikshashtakam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given 8 verses. The first verse itself, chanting, effects of chanting is explained. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. All the misgivings, misunderstandings are removed by chanting. Then that is called detachment, right? Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, Ksheya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, Vidyavadu Jivanam. All knowledge is given. Then it goes further. Vidyavadu Jivanam, Anandambudhi Vardhanam, Pratipadam, Purnamrita Swadanam, Sarvatma Snapanam. Same thing. Yenatma Suprasidati. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So there is so much of progress, and then this knowledge and detachment is very basic, and then that knowledge and detachment also is not actually the final goal of bhakti. Final goal of bhakti is join Krishna in rasa dance and dance, sing, dance. That's all. That's our life. Not that we are worried about knowledge or detachment, but it will come. These are important things. It's not that this is not important. As long as we are in the material world, knowledge that we are not this body, we are spirit, soul, knowledge about material world, spiritual world, about Krishna, these are important. Otherwise, we may fall victim of Maya at any time. So, knowledge is important, detachment is important, but we need not necessarily work for this, because Krishna dwelling in our hearts, He will destroy the ignorance. Once the ignorance is destroyed, naturally we are attached to the real things or the eternal things, and then we naturally get detached from the temporary things or temporary persons. Okay, so I'll stop here. श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की जय, श्री श्री निताय गौरंग की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि।